Welcome to the Bayou Country Music Association show brought to you by Southern Sound Outfitters. I'm your host Jacob, and today I am joined by a special guest, an up-and-coming Texas musician, Mr. Austin Tellez. How's it going, Austin?
Man, it's going good on my end. How about yours?
Man, we're doing great. We're glad to have another up-and-coming artist on the show. We've been having a lot of them, and it's what it's all about, man. So let's get into it. Where do you hail from out of Texas?
I'm from Dayton, Texas, and near Houston area, Beaumont, Winnie, all around that area.
Awesome. And at what age and what time period did you decide, hey, I want to do this and make this a career and sing and be an artist?
Man, really, I got really big into the music and got kind of to where, it was an everyday occurrence. I would come home and start playing my guitar and sing and just try to learn. I'd say probably about a year and a half ago, I got really big into it.
Awesome. And what was some of your musical influences, as growing up, listening to music, maybe your parents listened to a certain group or artist that kind of helped mold you into what you do now?
Oh, yeah. Man, I'd say growing up, Vince Gill.
Wow, that's awesome. I have to say right out the gate, man, that's a surprising. I love Vince Gill, and I think he's one of the best voices that ever set foot in country music, and that's an answer that nobody really ever says. So that's awesome. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man, but that's cool.
Oh no, hey. You're the boss man here. I'm just a...
No, man, that's awesome. I love getting it seems like it's always the same old, everybody can say George Jones and George Strait and all the greats, but Vince Gill, that's a great one.
Man, Vince Gill's he's a legend for sure. All around amazing voice, probably like you said, one of the best in the business, and along with that, I mean, he can shred a guitar, so...
Oh, yeah.
He's just one of the best. I'd say Dwight Yoakam.
Another great
for sure. And I grew up listening to a lot of Stone LaRue. Really, when I got to the 10, 11 age, I started listening to a lot of Stone LaRue. My dad had a Stone LaRue CD that I guess maybe my mom or somebody made for him that was in his truck, and we would just listen to every song over and over and over again. So Stone LaRue, and he was one of the guys that I grew up listening to.
Awesome. And I mean, I've been doing we have a lot of interviews with up and coming artists that have been out of the Texas and Oklahoma area, and I mean, it's not us trying to be biased, it's just we've been having so many coming along, and such as yourself. I mean, growing up in that area, there's so many people that's pursuing and have the talent to be musicians and artists. It's a great area to do it. It's almost, I guess, I don't want to say y'all are spoiled to it, but it's something that we don't have everywhere, and Texas definitely has it, of a plethora of talent. So describe to us people that aren't Texans, the competition is fierce, and yet it's a family atmosphere at the same time. I've had a lot of people say, artists say it's a friendly competition and a family thing. Is that something that you can say you feel as up and coming into the scene?
Oh yeah, man. Like you said, there's a lot of competition, and especially here in Texas. Everywhere around me, I have a lot of good friends that are amazing singers, guitar players. They're a heck of a lot better than me, and I would, seeing that competition, and seeing them push and try. If you don't see them start to make progress, it might shoot you down. You might lose a little confidence, but you just got to keep pushing through it. And like you said, most musicians, like a lot of people that I know, I work with a lot of good people, and it's pretty much like it's just an atmosphere. You got to have that it's an all around atmosphere that you have to be in. When you're a musician and you're playing, there's going to be somebody that's better than you. There's going to be somebody that's not as good as you. But you can't say that. I mean, you have to have the mindset that, we're all in this together. We're all nobody's trying to work against each other. We're all musicians just striving, trying to get better.
Exactly. It's definitely a unique scene of Texas has a wide variety in the country genre of, you know, your classics like the sounds of Cody Johnson and Randall Kings, and then it goes to more of a Cole Wetzels and the you know, Shay Abshires, and then you got you know, Reed Southall, and it just like it goes in all kind of different styles of songs and voices, and yet they all help and promote each other, and all love, you know, the music, and that's something that's awesome to see, to have somebody that's as a traditionalist, and then have somebody that's kind of alternative, and they support each other, and that's definitely a big thing in that area, and that's going to be hopefully something that we can spread out, you know, with Bayou Country Music Associations. With the whole thing is to bridge out, man, and have that bridge connect from you guys in Texas and the East Coast and everybody to make one big country again, and that's what the goal should be for everybody, man. And I feel that that's what's going to happen eventually.
No doubt.
And
I agree completely, and you know, up and comers and people that are not up and comers, you know, I know they show the same appreciation to guys like you and you know, Aaron from Southern Sound, and you know, they show the same appreciation for y'all because y'all have helped us up and comers through the way, you know, showing us the path, getting our name out, you know, just constantly pushing and doing whatever y'all can. You know, y'all are a real blessing to all of us.
Well, I really appreciate that, man, and that's what it's all about for me. And I know my buddy Aaron with Southern Sound, that's helped us so much. I could speak for him too, that we just love music, country music, and to have the talent go to waste is just ridiculous. So we're not in it for fame or money. We're in it to help you guys, man, because that's what it's all about. And so. Going forward, let's talk about, you know, obviously you're getting into it. You got some stuff. You're writing. You're trying, you know, getting better, practicing. You have some stuff that you say solid, you know, single at least, or something that you got in the works, or what's your future looking like, man?
I have a couple right now that are pretty solid. I have one that for sure is very, very soon going to be getting studio time to get, you know, worked on and get another second opinion and just kind of get finalized and finish it all up. But I have one right now. It's called Love in a Bar, and I wrote it about 6 months ago, and I just kind of been tossing it around and working on lyrics and working on chords with it and just trying to make it perfect, you know. I don't want a song to be like the rest of all the songs, you know. I want to be different. I want to have a different sound. I want to have a different story, you know. I don't want to have the same story as every other bar song, you know, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. If you don't have that mentality, then you don't need to be in the music in the industry at all, because everybody's trying to be original and have their own, you know. And that's the beauty of it. That's the healthy competition, and it's, you know, everybody's trying to be different, and it helps make the genre so wide. So that's awesome to hear from somebody that's, you know, breaking into the scene and getting into it. So describe your sound. I mean, what is your sound more geared towards? Traditionalist or an artist that you kind of say, yeah, that's kind of how I can fit into that category?
That's a good question. I've actually got that question multiple times, you know, because after a show, you know, somebody will be interested and they're like, hey, you know, do you have any music out or anything? You know, they'll ask me questions. They're like, you know, you kind of got like a Charlie Childers vibe, you know, you kind of got that rasp a little bit in your voice, and you kind of run your voice around and you throw some licks in there, and you know. So if I had to pick just between two artists that I try to not necessarily sound like, but
yeah, just that you know, not that you're trying to be, but that you get feedback that you sound like it.
Right. I would say Tyler Childers for sure, and another one would probably be kind of like a Wade Bowen. I get Wade Bowen a lot.
That's definitely not a bad thing, man. That's some good people right there. Great vocalists. And I mean, I obviously got in touch with you, man, through Aaron and Southern Sound, and I know he's a big Twitter guy, and he's always on Twitter, and I try to keep up, but he's got a lot of downtime. And you guys, I'm gonna tag. I've seen a video you got of a beautiful "Crazy" cover of Luke Combs' song, and I mean, I love Luke Combs. I think he's one of the trailblazers that's making his way in the mainstream of bringing back great original music that's just about something we can relate to, and that's a great song, and you did a hell of a job on it. So I'm definitely gonna put that. I always try to tag all the social medias and stuff for the artists, up and comers, but you guys check that out, and you definitely get to hear the pipes on this young man.
I appreciate it. It's a big compliment. And, in that video, that was a great video. I struggled with that video because the chords it's easy chords, and it's just I talked to you about it before, and I've talked to a couple other people about it before. I'm not the best guitar player for sure. I think my vocals are definitely ahead of my guitar playing by far.
And I could definitely say Luke Combs is somebody that his songs are all pretty much easy to learn, but he has such that powerful voice. So I think that's why it makes his Hurricane and all that so easy to cover, because all of his music is not, crazy guitar riffs, but he uses his voice and his vocals and his lyrics. So I can definitely understand what you mean by that, and how you were talking about you're learning to be better at guitar. But man, I mean, he proves the point that you don't have to be somebody like Keith Urban. To me, is one of the top guitar players in Nashville, and there's a lot more. But you don't have to be on that level to be a hit, I guess I could say, because guys like Luke Combs are proving it. You just have some simple. Just make the lyrics and the vocals mean something more than the sound. But that's awesome, man. So.
I agree completely. I was at a show one time. We played. Me and a good friend of mine played at a little rodeo thing one time, and it was there wasn't many people there. We was just starting to do shows and stuff, and I had a guy come up to me and he told me my guitar was too loud, that he couldn't hear my voice. And at the time, that's what I wanted. I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to push my voice too much because I wasn't confident enough in my voice. Yeah. And
well, that's understandable.
That night, I turned down my guitar a bunch, and I just started really singing and trying to listen to my voice more, and try not to focus too much on my guitar, because I wasn't confident in my guitar playing, and it was just throwing me all off. But I turned down my guitar and I just started singing. Man, I would say it's probably one of the best shows I've had.
It's definitely. I mean, people don't understand. I guess I should say the audience that listens to country music that isn't in the industry. It isn't just like if you can sing, go pick up a guitar and just make. It takes some learning, even when you have talent, man. And I'm not talented enough to be a singer or a musician, but I know I've been in the industry and I've seen how great vocalists have to learn and play live shows, and it's a learning curve, man. I mean, you can be a very talented musician, but to record something and to play live is totally two different animals.
Definitely, yeah. A recording can be done over and over and over again, but if your voice cracks or you miss a chord in a live, you're
and that's
kind of stuck in the mud there.
Anybody can make something sound good on a in the studio, but that's the true testament to all these up and coming artists and stuff that they get known on. Such as me watching that video of you on. It's just raw. Playing, no studio, you find the raw talent, the rawness of it, and the acoustic, and that's like awesome to see that coming in. These artists doing like acoustic versions of their songs and putting them out, because that's like the raw talent, just stripping it down, man. And that's that you definitely have that. I mean, everybody has to learn stuff to learn, but to have found that, and to learn how to be a better performer every day and record, it's a process, and obviously you surrounding yourself with great people to push you in that way, man, and hopefully several months from now and years from now we will be able to do another interview and have several hit songs to say, hey, remember when we were talking about, you know, when I was learning how to play guitar, this show, you know? That's what I like to think of, you know, when I talk to up-and-comers, man, because I don't just interview anybody. I definitely go for the ones that I know has that it factor, man.
Man, and, you know, like I said, I appreciate it again, and you know, getting back to what you were saying just then about, you know, anybody can sound good in a studio, I want to, you know, you saying that's a solid point. You know, that needs to be brought up more in the music scene. In my opinion, I think that needs to be brought up more in the music scene because anybody, even if
I can go sound good, I can go make myself sound good, and I can't sing a tune, man.
If you can't, you know, even if you can't hear a tune or you can't, you know, anything, if you're pitchy, it doesn't matter. You can go in the studio and sound good. You know, guys like Dylan Wheeler, I've talked to him a couple times. Just, you know,
amazing vocalist, amazing vocalist.
Dylan Wheeler is awesome. Brent, awesome. You know, all them guys through Twitter. You know that
Joey Greer.
Dude, they're awesome. You know, they're sick. I would love to get the opportunity to go hang out and just play for a day with all of those guys. Because that is raw talent. I like to see raw talent. I like to see somebody that can just pick up their guitar. It doesn't matter if you're sitting on the bed of a truck. Just start playing, singing, and you sound the same way you do in a video. I don't want to see that outside of a studio.
And that wow factor, man. That if you guys haven't seen Dylan Wheeler or Joey Greer, I mean, we've done an interview with Joey, and we promoting Dylan, but first time I heard him on a YouTube video that Aaron was like, gotta check this guy out, I was like, oh my god, because it was just like a raw, everybody, it takes a lot for, you know, people in the music industry. You hear songs all the time, but to come across a video or a voice, and Dylan and Joey both, I had a reaction, and I've had many friends that I've referred and said, check this guy out, what you think, and I've maybe put a list of 5 of him names, and Dylan's is always the one that's like, this kid has got it, and he really does, man. And that your point is valid. If you can't sound good in person and you're just a good, you know, recording artist, then you're nothing more than a recording artist. If you're not a true musician and a true vocalist and a true, you know, singer songwriter, they live for the live shows and the performing, and that's what music is all about. And that is where I truly become fans of artists, is watching them live. And that's when I become fans of watching videos such as, you know, the acoustics. And I was a Luke Combs fan, and then when I went watch him live this past year, and he just completely sealed the deal in person, I was like, okay, I can legitimately vouch and say, you know, this dude is legit. And there's a lot of artists that I've heard live, the big names that just don't sound the same in person.
I agree.
And it's sad, but it's true.
And no, it's very true. It's very true. You know, and it doesn't, you know, it kind of takes away from the guys like me and Dylan and like you said, Joey, and all the people that are just, you know, wow, like this is raw talent. You know, it kind of takes away from the people that are putting in the work every day, practicing vocals, practicing chords, practicing stuff. You know, like you said, anybody can go into a studio and sound good. You know,
exactly.
And like Joey, I've listened to Joey's music. He sounds good in his music, and he sounds good in the video, and he sounds good on a live video. He sounds good all around. There's nothing that Joey sings that doesn't sound good.
It's a true, like, you ain't gonna find a weakness in
no, exactly.
And he's a great dude. Just a great. I mean, we did an interview with him about a month back, and y'all guys check that out. I mean, we got his single "Say You Will" on our top 30 playlist, and he's a great dude, great story, great artist, amazing talent. All of these guys that he's mentioning, I mean, they all deserve some recognition, and they all gonna be. You're gonna hear their names in the future. I promise you.
No doubt.
And you sir are included. I mean, we're making this interview about Dylan and Joey, but you yourself, you made it on the show, so you're part of it, man.
Oh man, and you know, like, I mean, I'm not trying to get off topic or not, you know, talking about them. You know,
no, that's the beauty of this show.
when I hear good talent, I want to appreciate a good talent and let them.
And I respect that. I respect that.
This, they can go. That guy's. He's a respectable guy. He respects us other artists. He's not.
I respect that.
Anybody.
I respect that, and that makes you a great person, a great artist, and a true artist. And the true artists and true musicians do that. They give recognition where it is, and that's what I mean when I say when I ask people about check out this guy, or the people I ask are raw, and they'll tell me straight up, if it's basic or if it's, and I've got everybody that I've come across through. Mostly I have to give a shout out to Aaron, man, with Southern Sound. That guy, he sent more people my way that I've just been blown away with, that I did not know about until I went and looked them up with him. And it's amazing. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to see if I can play a snippet of this video of yours without messing up. If the vocals will come on here. Man, it's very, very low. I can't miss it. You can barely hear it, but I'm definitely gonna tag it on the link to it. But yeah, it's man, it's you selling don't sell yourself short, brother. You got some talent. You got some gifts, man, and working with those guys and being in part of that wave that you mentioned, that's going to be hopefully the next generation of singing, for Texas scene, and
no doubt.
That's awesome. And
it'd be a hell of a ride for them, to see those guys.
Dude, I would honestly pay top dollar money to watch all of those people you mentioned, including yourself, all in one, like go on a tour, just because I know the talent but yet it's not, in the real world, nobody, they don't know, or they know them, but it's not. But that's the type of stuff I like to listen to, is that raw talent, just these guys are up and coming in your face, because you can go listen to a sold out stadium, and it's not the same as getting an intimate show at some small venue with somebody that's got talent like that. So I'd pay top dollar to get you, Joey, Dylan, Brent, Kane, and all these guys on one tour, and I'd pay probably just more than a CMA Fest, because I just love that raw talent, man. That sounds crazy, but that's what I love.
I agree completely. I agree. An acoustic sound is
a lost art. Special. It's a lost art that's coming back. I feel in a way. It was straight away for, after the 90s country, when the 2000s and stuff come in, it kind of went away from the stripped down, and now I find it finally coming back. And I'm meaning this in the main whole genre, not the Texas scene. Obviously, Texas is always, it's almost like mentioning a different country. Texas has its own, Texas-Oklahoma area music is like it can be its own independent functioning body. It really is, honestly. But it is. I'm glad. I'm trying to. The goal of us is to try to bridge that out and make it part of the mainstream, genre, because their Texas and Oklahoma scene is so strong that they don't need the praise or the seek it out. They have everything, the venues and the artists and the fan base. But as a person from Louisiana, that I love my Louisiana guys. I have a bunch of buddies that are great musicians, and from Louisiana and in Nashville now. And I have tons of guys that I love that are from Georgia and Florida, and great musicians that I do interviews with. But there's nothing like the Texas. When I lived in Texas, man, for a few years with work, and it was like when I got introduced to the country music scene of Texas, it was like getting unveiled. It was like an underground thing. I didn't know who these people were, and everybody was so diehard passionate about them, and it was just good music, and seeing that, and seeing like the Randall King getting a nod from Garth Brooks and Rolling Stone, and Whiskey Riff and all these people kind of showing, and Entertainment Tonight doing that thing with Cody Johnson and all these guys that have been killing it for a long time, and,
for sure.
and finally getting, you know, all independent. They're all independent artists, I have to add, which is an amazing feat to have. Garth Brooks, one of the best best entertainers in the industry of music, much less country, to give a nod to Randall King about, you know, this guy's what country music is going, and then to have, you know, people like Cody Johnson selling out, you know, more tickets and stuff than Luke Bryan and Blake Shelton as an independent artist, and you know, that just shows. And if you look at the top charts, if you follow Texas radio, country radio, I can guarantee you every dang one of them is independent artists. That it's amazing. They don't need
They get up on their own and they're going to stay on their own, you know.
And that's what I respect about it, man. And it's that's why if you can come through in that scene, man, and you are a true musician, because it is truly they are good. They are famous in Texas and successful because of their talent and their dedication and their fan base. And there's no hiding it. There's no, you just out there and you raw. And that's why it's so many great musicians, independent musicians come from there, man.
No doubt, they're the real deal for sure. I mean, you can't beat them.
Yep, and like I said, I'm always giving nods to Texas and stuff, but man, I mean, I love all the whole, you know, scene of country really, and to see, I've had, like I said, I have buddies from all over, you know, Louisiana, Georgia, Florida, Ohio, just, you know, flooded all over this nation that we have. So we're not biased by any means, folks, but it's just, I can't preach it enough to the people that don't know the Texas music scene, of how it's you know, such a rich cultural thing and a family atmosphere, and they help each other, and so much. I try to shed the light of it on to everybody. You know, if you're a true country fan, man, go check out these up and coming Texas guys. They just flooding in, and gals. I mean, they got some female artists out down there that are just insanely talented. Paige Velasquez is another one that we did an interview with, and she's you know, extremely talented. Megan Ashley. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You just it's insane.
There's a list of them, man. There's a list of them for sure.
And that's definitely. I mean, if you're a person looking for some talent or a talent agent, you might not get a signature, but if you want some talent, go down to Texas, man, because I mean they bring it, and this you know you're gonna come up into this scene, and for you to be introduced into that, I kind of reference it to being I guess like a rookie quarterback being thrown into the, you know, the Super Bowl. If you can win it all, you know, like the Alabama quarterback that won for him, you know, it's all or nothing, man. You in the big leagues, and if you can make it there, you good.
For sure, man. You know, the whole music scene is such a blessing to a bunch of guys like myself. You know, it kind of puts us in a better place, and you know, for a long time you'll get into a state where you're just working and working and working, and I work so much that, you know, I'll catch myself where I'm like, you know, what day is it? You know, what day is it?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I got a show tomorrow. What day is it? You know?
Oh, I totally understand, man. I run myself rabid with everything, but it's a hard life, you know. Juggling music and a full-time job is a hard life, but you can't get yourself caught up, you know. You have to be able to support still. You have to be able to. You have to still live. Yeah, you have to still have a family, and I mean, it takes a lot to be an artist. And I go on record. I have a regular job, folks. This is not. I don't pay my bills with this. I do all this craziness just for kicks because I love music. So I know what he means when and these guys are working full-time jobs, and then afterwards trying to write songs and record and practice. And I mean, you on the road, and then it takes a lot of dedication.
It takes a lot out of you.
And you have to really be passionate about music, or it will make you hate it. that's the best point I could say, and that's if you lose it. And I've seen artists that are super talented that didn't they balanced that weight like you're speaking of, and it made them hate it, and they got out of it, and then they come back and seen what they did wrong was they didn't balance it out, and you have to stay motivated and stay passionate about it, man, because if you don't stay passionate, it shows in your music without a doubt.
No doubt, I agree completely. There's times that I come home from work and I'm deadbeat tired. I just absolutely don't want to do anything. But I can say there's never been a day that I wasn't like, I don't want to pick up my guitar. Every single day I come home, all I want to do is play my guitar while I'm at work. All I want to do is play my guitar, strive to get better. Write music, get lyrics down, try to learn new songs I can play at the next show. There's never a day that I don't come home and then I'm not excited to do music. And just being around the environment, the whole music thing period is such a good thing to be around. It can literally physically lift your spirits.
Definitely.
I went to an open mic night, me and a good friend of mine, this past Wednesday, and man, all the people that showed up, they were so nervous, and just as soon as they opened their mouth, it was like just mellow. There was the first girl to come up to sing, man. She was the sweetest girl. She was the sweetest girl, and the voice that came out of her,
it moved you.
It gave me chills.
That's
I was in disbelief.
That's the beauty behind music, man. Music is an art that is old as the time, and to have that's what it's all about, and that wow factor and that moving. If it don't move you and you lose focus of that, then what are you doing in this industry or even in this scene? Because it's not for the faint of heart, and it's I guess almost like the rodeo guys say, all the bumps and bruises for those moments like that, it's worth it,
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it. In the end, it'll all work out. Some will make it, some won't, but I'm gonna die trying. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, brother. I mean, every day I wake up and thank God for another day, and we just try to get better at everything I do, man. And that's all you can do. And with the day and age and the technology we have, and the world of everything's on a spotlight, man, with this social media, and so it's so much more recognition to be had, and ways that artists and guys such as yourself can take advantage of that couldn't be said for 15 years ago, so that's really what I strive to do, is use all these platforms to kind of help boost that. And social media, man, I definitely have to say, as this job, doing all this, I don't have a social media account for personal reasons. I really don't. I don't get on it and post about my life. I'm always on it promoting and looking at stuff, and that's how I found out everything, and news, updates, everything. Everything the world is on. It's electric media, and it's everything. So people that don't have the platform of being in Nashville or being on a big stage can make waves with this, and so definitely, like I said, you making waves on Twitter and using that. So social media is definitely helping, and I'll be sure and always tag the social media accounts, man. So you have a Twitter, you got an Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, those, like you said, the social media is a big platform for a lot of up and comers, and I have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and I don't post much on Facebook. I do have a couple videos on there. You can find me at Austin Tellez, and
I'll be sure and link all the for all your social media, man, to it, so people can check it out.
No doubt, yeah, and I mean that's a big platform. Social media has changed the music industry.
Yep, and it definitely things such as Snapchat and Instagram, it gives fans a more personal, intimate relationship with artists, where they can see their favorite singer or songwriter, what they're doing throughout the day, and up there, whatever they're doing, whether in their grocery store or whatever. And it gives them a more personal relationship with them, and that's something that is new now. And I think it's really promoting the independent success. You don't need a record label anymore as much as if you just have a following from social media and touring around these places. So that's something to take advantage of, brother. I mean, post, get out there.
Take one person to see it.
Yep, and we strive to push as much as we can to get it out there, man. So I'm happy to have you on the show, man. I'm another great up and comer. You got a great wave for this generation of up and coming musicians, not only just with Texas, man, but in our area too, and in Louisiana and all the whole South. And it's good things, man. Good things coming. We thank you. We thank all of our friends and our partners, man, that help us. We mentioned Aaron. He's a big help for me with Southern Sound Outfitters. Check out those guys at southernsoundoutfitters.com. They support a lot of independent up-and-coming artists in the Texas scene. They have some great apparel, got some new stuff in the works that I'm excited. Can't wait till it comes. It's about to drop. I'm a merch guy. I love apparel and hats and shirts, and these guys got some good stuff coming. Also, merchandise-wise, my good buddy Corey with Swamp Assassin. Okay, if you're outdoorsman, fisherman, hunt, fish, anything. This guy, he's somebody that I look up to. I love graphics and I love design. He's got the talent, man, and they got some great stuff, some new hats out, some new shirts. They constantly pumping out stuff at swampassassin.com. Check them out. Also want to thank our buddies at Cowboys in Scott and Lafayette area. They're a great venue. They have a Western store, arena, and also nightclub where they feature live music. They got some great names. They feature live music every weekend, but they got some big names coming. I know I put a promo earlier, July 20th. They got Sam Riggs coming down, and Ashton Dupre, our local guy, is going to be there with him, and tickets are on sale. They got Randall King coming in August, Jacob Bryan coming in August. They got a bunch of great shows coming up. So check out them at cowboyslafayette.com and all their social media pages as well. Also, it's hot as hell, man. It's summertime, and if you out there in the heat, you need a good ice chest. And I don't know about you, but I don't like spending $500 on an ice chest to get stolen. But if you want some good quality, bang for your buck, man, check out my buddies with Swamp Gear Roto-Molded Ice Chest, local business out of Orneville, Louisiana. They got some high quality ice chests that ain't gonna hurt your pocketbooks as much as the other guys, and they have some great features, non-slip feet. They have some bottle cap openers that are integrated into the ice chest, which I think is pretty cool. And they do custom engravings, and they have all kind of crazy colors and awesome stuff. So check them out at swampshop.com. Also, let's see, who else? Who I got? I got so many. I want to thank the listeners. Everybody that listens and promotes us and pushes for these guys. That's who I thank and push for, man. It's something that it takes a team, man, and it definitely wouldn't be able to do it without any of these names or any of these people or any of these organizations that we mentioned. And we thank them, and we thank you, man, for stopping by. And
yes, sir.
Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. I strive to be a family, man, and I stay in contact with everybody, and we will definitely be contact and have you back again. And if you have any kind of shows come up or anything, man, you need help, we'll throw you out whatever you need, brother.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it very much, and again, thank you for all you do for us up-and-comers. Aaron, Southern Soundfitters, thank you for everything you do for us up-and-comers. Y'all are a real big blessing to our lives.
Well, we really appreciate it, brother. And if you have any kind of last, any shout outs or anything that you want to say before we close out, I'll give you the floor.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's supported me along the way and liked my videos and retweet them. It's been a good ride so far, and I'm just getting started. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, y'all definitely check out this guy. I'll be posting links to all of his social media and all of his content, and he's a part of this wave, man, that we have coming. So we're glad to have him on, and we look forward to a good future with him, man. So thanks for coming by, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Bayou Country Music Association show.